And that, my friends, marks the end for this summer's preseason. And it's actually a pretty nice feeling to know that we've gone throughout this whole preseason periods unbeaten. Like, this is actually real, tangible confidence that you can carry forward now, hopefully, into the new Premier League season. And I'm hoping this team saw how Liverpool performed against Bayern Munich, because with the amount of damage that Bayern caused Liverpool in behind our wides, I feel like our team now should be licking their lips and getting ready for this game against Liverpool when the season starts. So my friends, in today's match review, I have to discuss key things. Of course, the flamboyant Mudryk, one-man army, Nico Jackson, of course, players like Conor Gallagher, Enzo, plus the goals, moments, and all that good stuff that came from our game today. So I hope you guys enjoy today's video. Hit that like button for the final preseason game of this summer periods. And I hope you guys have been enjoying and appreciating the effort too, because you guys literally, I'm breaking up in sports left, right, and center. Like, my sleep is in the bin right now. I'm actually happy that this tour's over because, I need my sleep, my friends. So, without wasting any more time, now I don't think it'd be right to start this review off without ranting about the state of this field, because I think when we all saw how terrible the conditions were tonight, for myself, I was getting awful flashbacks back to Loftus-Cheek, and I also have to say, after seeing that disgusting Marcelo leg breaker yesterday, I felt like every time I was seeing 50-50s and challenges today on this pitch, I couldn't do it, man. I was actually getting too nervous. I was wincing away. I was expecting the worst, and obviously when Christopher Nkunku was coming off with a precautionary kind of knee discomfort, I was getting worried, man, because I can't be starting the Premier League season without Nkunku against Liverpool. Because I have to say, listen, we picked up the draw today against Dortmund, but if Christo was on the field, I feel like he is the difference maker that actually helps us win this game. And it's just come on, man, get the standards right. How are you having an Ed Sheeran concert before a game like this today? So players can get their health jeopardized? Come on, it doesn't make any sense. Discussing the goals quickly, it was pretty unfortunate how we conceded our goal. I don't think I can really blame Kepa that much. I felt like it was a pretty decent punch, away from danger. There was just no pressure on that second ball then to try and close that man down. Obviously, his strike just kind of takes everyone out. Everyone's still planted on the ground. They're all standing still. And then it was a nice type of improvised finish and good reactions, of course, to take the lead. But the most important thing is the reaction, because I think, especially in that second half, we kind of peppered Borussia Dortmund. I feel like if this pitch wasn't so bubbly and bouncy, players like Nico Jackson wouldn't be missing those one-on-one chances, because the ball's just bouncing at the wrong time as he's taking the strike. So the fact that we were able to equalize with a young Mason Burstow, and that was a really nice header to generate that neck power to just head the ball away from the direction of the goalkeeper. It looks like it's easy, but it wasn't. And it's nice that we can play games where deservedly the best team and actually still leave with a result. Because honestly, I wouldn't have been happy knowing that I stayed up this entire time and we didn't win this game after this performance. But I'm going to stop being a diva now. To give you guys a bit of an idea behind how this game went. In the first half, I felt like it was a little bit 50-50 in terms of the possession battle. I think Dortmund had 48 possession. We had 52% possession. And both teams kind of used a mid-block structure where, they pressed high when they had to, but they were more than happy to allow the opposition to, try and play through their press by blocking out those passing angles. And it made for a pretty end-to-end and open type of game. We created a lot of transitional moments, especially in that first half. And in the second half, we took those moments to the next level. The thing that really gives me confidence is how accustomed and how confident our players are playing this type of football, and how quickly they pick things up as well too. I think this is really impressive, and the team deserves a lot of credit for how quickly they've adopted to Pochettino's ideas. One thing is, especially that second half, is the amount of space we're creating for our most attacking players. A lot of guys benefited from this. I'll be discussing them literally right now as I just give you guys a bit of insight behind how this game was, in case you guys value your sleep more compared to preseason games. But my friends, we created a lot of opportunities. I'm looking at Levi Cole. I think he had 2 opportunities, but he was attacking headers at the back post and he missed both. I feel like as he gets better, he'll improve in those areas. But that's another area of improvement that is going to help this team. Of course, Nico Jackson, as I was mentioning earlier, very unfortunate with his 1v1. We had a few very nice fluids, very fast counter-attacking moments too, where I felt like sometimes the final ball was a little bit iffy. Now, the pitch doesn't help things because the ball is bouncing and it's half of the players really determined where the ball is going to bounce. So maybe some players would have taken first-time shots with these, like, you know, passes across goal, but they can't do that because the pitch is very, like, uncertain in terms of what they need to do, right? But anyway, that's like a little bit of an idea behind how the game was. So now I want to talk players, and for the low-key performer of tonight, that probably has to be Conor Gallagher. Now, it'll be very easy to dismiss his game and the importance behind it, but for people with a sophisticated eye and like keen eye to attention, this guy's understanding of the system helps improve his teammates around him, most notably in Enzo Fernandez, because it was Conor Gallagher playing the deeper role this time, not Enzo, that actually allowed Enzo Fernandez to play a more box-to-box role, and I think this is the first time we've seen him play this type of role. So Gallagher had a lot of responsibilities, which he did to like a very high level. There was times when he had to drop back to make like a back three to help us build up. There was times when he moved by himself to be that lone pivot in front of our defense. There was times when he formed that box pivot structure alongside Enzo Fernandez to help us play out. And the way he was receiving one-touch pass, everything was quick and sharp. He played passes forwards. He wasn't looking to play sideways balls. He wasn't getting the ball caught under his feet as well too. And it was how he played his passes. You know, he's playing his passes to his teammates' strongest feet, which makes it easier for his teammates to control and turn and keep that momentum and speed of our attacks going. So this was a very accomplished performance, and this kind of suits Gallagher more compared to being more of like a deep line playmaker, which he isn't. I wouldn't know how to really describe this role. He definitely had a lot more responsibilities here, and he played to a very high level. And I have to say, I'd say he's been one of our best players throughout preseason. And if he was sold, I feel like Conor should feel very hard done by, because he has been very impressive so far. And today he really gave the team that ability to just, you know, attack, push forward. He kept us ticking based on how he was playing. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for this performance tonight. Of course, probably the player of preseason is Nico Jackson. And even though he was very unfortunate not to score today, wow, does this guy make things happen in attack. Like the amount of solo runs he went on. And with these solo runs, he's demonstrating like that body balance, you know, quickness of like direction, footwork and skill, you know, nice technical moments and the quick thinking. If there's times when he isn't confident to take a shot, he has that type of composure and the skill to be able to create openings for his teammates, which he looked to do time and time again throughout this game. But another thing I really loved about Jackson today is just when he drops deep at the positions he finds. Like there was 3 occasions where Levi Cole played beautiful line-breaking passes, which literally took out the entirety of the Dortmund team. And Jackson was there on the receiving end. And we saw this 3 times. So I'm liking this little like understanding and connection we're seeing from these guys in the field, because when Jackson does that, man, other guys are running off him. And, you know, we're seeing the intelligence of his movement. There was a few times when Jackson's making like runs to the right wing or the left wing, and he's just really stretching that Dortmund defense. And with his like abilities to use his body frame to protect the ball with his skill and the footwork, I think this guy looks like a very unique type of striker. There aren't too many strikers I can think of that have this type of skill set in their game, and I think this is phenomenal business. And yeah, this guy really impresses me, and he is the best striker right now to spearhead this Pochettino attack. One player who's been growing and growing throughout preseason has been Mudryk, and there's a reason why this guy's looking good, right? When Mudryk was doing bits at Shakhtar, that's because they gave him space to play in. I always used to make this comparison last season. Like for me, Mudryk and Vinicius are like in the same family of wingers, right? And when Vinny's on the ball, are Madrid's making him play against 2 defenders back to goal and all that nonsense? Absolutely not. The system creates those 1v1 moments. there will be some times when Mudryk might not be in the game, but it don't matter because the moment he gets the ball with that type of space, this guy explodes. And his influence throughout the game kept growing and growing and growing, especially in that second half where you're seeing peak confidence Mudryk. There was this nice play where James played this like beautiful crossfield pass, and then Mudryk's doing the 5-star ball controls with like these little outside flick things. I don't even know how to describe it properly, but when he's controlling those balls, there's purpose behind his games. He's taking the game onto his opponents, driving forward this pace or looking to combine in field with a few 1-2s. And another thing that we saw for the first time was Mudryk playing on the right hand side. And on the right hand side, you're seeing this guy's got some very, very sexy crosses in this game. Like the dip on his crosses as well too. These are the type of crosses that players want to attack and head right. And, I feel like Mudryk could low-key be someone who could be a big player for us this season because Pochettino is allowing him to play to his best strengths. And this is what I like about Poch, man. Certain managers like Pochettino, they encourage the players to be their best selves, if you know what I mean. They create the conditions and environments for these guys to express their game without having like a million rules and instructions, which doesn't work for like players like Mudryk. Like you can't be telling him what to do here, there and there. So I was really impressed. And most importantly, he's very exciting to watch. And this is why we spent so much money on him to begin with. So Mudryk, you're doing bits, man. I'd say in terms of like standardish performances, I say Reece James was a little bit rusty. Obviously, really, really nasty tackle on Benazabi. Obviously not intentional, but a rusty tackle. And, if this is a league game, you get punished for that. Maybe once or twice he got done by a skill down his side. And I think when Gusto came, of course, the context of the game is a bit different. But Gusto looked very strong and fast defending those 1v1 areas. And he's playing some beautiful progressive passes over the top to find Mudryk. So I think Gusto... Would I be surprised if he found himself signing against Liverpool? I don't know. Obviously, Reece James is Reece James, but, tiny bit rusty. I'd say maybe Enzo was a little bit rusty. There was times when, he wasn't on the ball as much, but that's typical because he's playing more box to box. But, I don't want to be too harsh because there was moments of quality and sometimes moments of mundanity. You know what I mean? He had more license to push forward, and I just think having him close with teammates is probably the best way to do things. And I want to continue to see this experiment because guys like Gallagher, guys like hopefully Casado, they're going to allow Enzo to push further forwards. And I guess the other player I would say would be Raheem Sterling. Now, it's not that he was awful, Maybe in certain moments, especially when we created these counter-attacking moments in the second half. Yeah, the pitch was a bit awful. I can't really blame him too much for that with how the ball's bouncing a little bit, I guess. But it kind of stopped guys like Jackson and others taking shots first time due to the delivery. But in terms of the tactical stuff and being the outlet, he is there. Obviously, Sterling is not known for his footwork. And I was saying this before we signed the guy. He is not that type of player. So don't be surprised that he gives possession away in moments like that. Of course, Pochettino trusts him, but it's very unfortunate that Mudryk is injured and didn't get any game time in pre-season. And as I said, it's very interesting that Mudryk also played on the right-hand side. Could that be something that Pochettino explores throughout the season? That wouldn't surprise me, but I feel like Sterling's looking a little bit rusty in terms of, the efficiency and quality in the final thirds. And it definitely has to improve. So my friends, that is the end for today's final match review of this preseason. We're unbeaten. We look like a team on the up right now. And I feel like after everything I've seen over this past 2 weeks, we could be a bit of a surprise for next season. And I'm really looking forward now to further examining the tactics, the players, the ideas that we've learned during this preseason. So make sure you guys stay tuned on BlueLionsTV. So on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.